Hi guys, I'm Ashley. I'm 15 years old. I'm in 9th grade, and I recently found out about a month or so ago that I have two disorders that are both linked to addiction and OCD, and they're called Trichotillomania and Dermatillomania. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably going, what? What is this? What? Mania, Dermatillomania, what? Dermatillomania is when you constantly, obsessively, compulsively pick at your skin. You squeeze it, you pick it, you scratch it, you do anything you can to it. Some people do it till they bleed, some people do it with tweezers, etc. Trichotillomania is similar, except it involves the plucking and ripping out and pulling out of your hair, whether it be hair from your head, or hair from your eyelashes, or hair from your beard, or if you're a guy or whatever and you have mustaches, plucking out those. Any type of hair, I guess, really applies in that situation. But I have had both of those. It all started out when I was in 7th grade. I'm not really sure how it happened, but I remember it just happening. Dermatillomania was definitely first. I had no recollection of being traumatized and then going on and doing this, so it was weird, because normally these things are brought on by trauma or stress and like anxiety and stuff, and that does apply to me, I guess, but I don't know. Anyways, it started and it got so bad to the point where trichotillomania, I had no eyelashes on the upper part of my eyelid. I constantly got made fun of for it. My two best friends from school used to make fun of me all the time. They used to call me a freak and tell me that I wasn't human because I had no upper eyelashes. And I used to sit down and think about this and think, what am I doing wrong? Why am I doing this to begin with? They're right. I'm a freak. No one else does this. And it didn't occur to me until a month ago or so. I was watching Dr. Phil, and there was a girl on the show, and she had problems with her face too, and I was intrigued, so I watched it, and it turns out we had the exact same problem. Therefore, I looked into it more, and it turns out that it's actually very serious. It can also be very difficult to overcome and try and treat. So, there's that. My places for my trichotillomania, I'm sorry, I'm really tired. My trichotillomania is my eyelashes, as I said before. I don't pull out my hair. Most people pull their hair out from like the sides of their head. I don't do that. I focus mainly on my eyelashes. Dermatillomania happens on my face, more specifically right here between my eyebrows, the bridge of my nose, and my forehead hairline. So my face, and then I also have a really bad habit of picking my back. My back is a wreck. It is the most disgusting thing ever, and these things are embarrassing. I mean, they're not fun to have, they're not a laughing matter, and overall they make you feel like, one, you don't belong, and two, they just ruin your self-esteem. So there's that. I started when I was in 7th grade. I quit trichotillomania, surprisingly. It wasn't as difficult as I think trying to quit dermatillomania is, which is what I'm doing right now, or trying to do. I quit trichotillomania because I was tired of being made fun of, for one, and two, I looked weird in every single picture. When I looked in the mirror, I absolutely couldn't stand myself because I literally had no eyelashes. People would always comment on it, even if like, the people who were too kind to not say anything, they still noticed. I mean, it was obvious that everyone noticed, but people always noticed it. It was the first thing they noticed when they talked to me, and I just got so tired, I just let them grow back in, and I told myself, I'm not gonna pick at it, I'm better than this, I'm not gonna do it. So that happened. Dermatillomania, for me, is a lot worse. It's something that it's an addiction, it really is. I've read on websites that it does relate to self-harm, although I don't personally really classify it as self-harm. I mean, people do it until they bleed, and they do use things like tweezers and metal instruments, and I do fall into that category of using metal instruments until I bleed, but even if it is, I still don't consider it self-harm. I don't want to be associated with that. It doesn't feel right to be associated with it. Anyways, I am recently, since 2 weeks ago, I've been trying to stop. It's gone from, I used to be able not to go more than an hour without picking up my face. 1 hour turned into a couple hours turned into a day turned into 2, and in about 2 or 3 hours, I think, I will be 3 days clean without touching my face. I'm not sure how I feel about that. It feels good in a way, I guess, to know that you've made it this far, even though you think, well, 3 days isn't that big of a deal. But, I mean, in retrospect, it kind of is, and hopefully I'll be able to make it more than 3 days of not destroying my face. So, that's just a little bit about me and my disorders, and I don't know, I feel like it's not as common as other disorders you hear about, so, I don't know. I felt like I should just share it, because the more information you have on people out there that actually have it, the more other people are able to relate, and the more other people are like, oh, okay, this makes sense now. I can kind of see what she means, or what she's talking about like that. So that's kind of nice. So, hopefully, I'll be able to quit. I'm still looking for ways to quit this. There's a lot of triggers involved in trichotillomania and dermatillomania. So, I mean, it's going to be really hard, and I already know that it's going to be extremely super hard, but I'm willing to give it a shot, and we'll just see what happens from here.